Hey there, everybody. I just want to throw this video together just as sort of like a general tips, tricks, kind of like a guide video to Pocket Adventure, because it looks like it's, this is going to be a recurring thing every couple weeks. And it doesn't look like the maps are changing all that much. They did a very minor adjustment just in like where the little boxes are in like the first 1,000 meters or so of the run. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same as it is last week. So unless they do any major changes, I figured I'd just do like a little guide video talking about some of the patterns that we see here and how to best navigate some of the obstacles that are in this game. And so as you can see, I've got a pretty good score there. I am currently ranked number 1 in my group, but I'm not expecting this to last, because if I learned anything from the last event, someone can sneak up and beat you at the last minute. I will say that in the exchange shop, depending on how well you do, you can probably pretty easy clean out the shop, as long as you are scoring like between 2,000 and 3,000 points every run. You should be able to clear out the shop by the end of the week. I'm assuming that wisdom orb fragments are going to be, one of the things that are going to regularly be in the exchange shop. And if they are, my recommendation is that they are the #1 priority. The second priority is Adventurer Mickey Mouse medals. You only get 10 of them, which means you have to, clean out the shop, basically, or you have to clean out those medals for 10 consecutive events before you can limit break an Adventurer Mickey Mouse. But it's still worth it. It's a free LB level, so for like a free-to-play or a casual player that's not spending very much, definitely worth it. And then obviously your orbs, grab those as you can. But yeah, I think this minigame is really neat because it's a bit of an equalizer. You don't have to be a whale to do well in this game. You just have to be able to focus for a solid 5 to 10 minutes, and you have to control your twitchy thumbs. So when I first started, I definitely had twitchy thumbs, and just over time I've gotten better about sort of being more calm and not twitching my thumbs so much. So a couple of pointers before I actually get into the game. So first of all, probably the most important thing is just get yourself comfortable. Like if you're holding your phone, definitely make sure that you have your elbows propped up. So like if you're sitting, sit in like a comfortable chair or in a comfortable position that you don't mind sitting in for like, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe longer if you're really good at this game. But you want to just get comfortable, and you don't want to be sitting and like holding your phone without your arms propped up for, 5 or 10 minutes, because your arms will get tired. Maybe it's more comfortable for you to actually lay your device, whether it's your phone, tablet, or whatever, to actually like lay it down on the table, so that you're not actually holding it and then just tap with your finger, because all you're doing is using one finger to make little Mickey jump. The controls are dead simple, as you probably already know. So getting comfortable and in a comfortable position is going to really help. That's the first thing. The second thing is the pause button is your friend. So if you're if you're feeling like you're getting a little bit too antsy or getting a little too excited because maybe the speed's starting to get up there, use the pause button to just kind of stop, take a breather, stretch, maybe like look out the window, or put in some eye drops, whatever you need to do to just kind of like reset yourself back to neutral, right? So I know it sounds crazy for just like a little mini game, but like really, I mean, they put a pause button in there for a reason, so that you can pause it and just kind of take a breath, right? Because when you start getting really fast, when you start getting down the stretch and Mickey's starting to run pretty fast, it can get a little bit nerve-wracking. So use the pause button. It is your friend. And the last thing I'm going to say is, try not to double jump too much. Like, get comfortable with using your single jumps more than your double jumps, especially when you start getting really fast. When you start going really fast, double jumps can very easily kill you. And so knowing when to knowing which obstacles it's perfectly safe to single jump on or over, and knowing which ledges are perfectly safe to fall off of, which I'll show you here, it can really help because it's just going to help reduce that twitchy thumb and wanting to like jump over every little gap. There are lots of gaps and ledges that you don't have to jump over. You can just literally fall off of and you'll land on the next ledge below. And so knowing that, having that knowledge really helps sort of calm your nerves a little bit, especially as you start going faster. Now, with that said, I'm still not an expert at all of the obstacles, especially when I start getting into the like 2,000 to 3,000 meter range. There are some obstacles that still trip me up even now. But we'll get to those as we go along. And I do all this just because I want you guys to... I want more people to do the game because it's a really great chance to get some free resources. Like, you get free orbs, free LB medals, free wisdom frags. Like, there's tons of free stuff in the exchange shop. Like, there's no reason not to play the game because it's just you're giving up a chance at free stuff. And even if you're not good enough to clean out the shop, just getting anything is better than nothing. So, even if all you do is just use the 5 free runs that they give you every day, use them, right? Use them. Because it doesn't make sense to just give up the free all those free resources. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Feel free to use timestamps to jump around if you want to. I'll try and put timestamps in areas for like specific obstacles, especially if I get like, repeated obstacles that I can really show you like, the sort of patterns that we see and how I jump over them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. First thing I'll show you is the pause button, just to, remind you that it's there. So, the pause button is very easy. Just pop the pause button and this is what the screen will do. All right, just be aware that as soon as you unpause, he is going to start running again, but use that pause button to your advantage, right? Use it when things are getting a little bit crazy and a little bit out of control, and just use it to calm your nerves when you get in a tight spot. Now, as I'm going to be sort of talking through this, I might not do as well as I normally do. I probably will not get a high score run here, but hopefully I can at least show you a lot of the obstacles. Once you reach the 2,000 meter mark, you'll pretty much see all the obstacles that you're going to see in the course. I don't, as far as I know, they don't throw any new obstacles at you. Now, I have the longest I've run is 4,700 meters. And so I have not seen anything beyond 5,000 meters, but as far as I know, there are no new obstacles once you pass the 2,000 meter mark. It's just all about the speed increasing. So the speed does incrementally increase. And so as you go, it'll get faster and faster and faster. And how you navigate some of the obstacles will definitely depend on how fast you are going. All right. So at the beginning, it's pretty simple. It's mostly just little gaps that you can just do single jumps over. All right, you should be doing mostly single jumps here. All right, there are going to be some gaps that look like they're really big, like that one. All right, when I first started, I was doing single jumps over that one. That's an example where you definitely want to do a double jump in the little double valley right there. Actually, that one I could have run off of. So here you can just actually run off that one. I still jump it sometimes because I just get that twitchy thumb. That's a big gap that I always thought I had to double jump over, but you don't actually have to double jump over that one. And in fact, they often put a pouch there, and if you double jump, you are guaranteed to miss that pouch. So practice doing single jumps over that gap to make sure that you grab that pouch. So there's another example where you can just walk down those two ledges. That gap is not wide enough to fall into no matter what. All right. So there's another one, you can just walk right off that. Okay. So yeah, practice single jumping that big gap. I know it looks scary, and if you jump too early, you will fall into the pit. So you got to practice waiting and jumping at the last minute. But it's not as scary as it looks once you get some practice. All right. So for this one, it's I try to jump into each pit and then double jump to get out. All right. There's another example where, a couple of examples where double jumping can help when they start throwing the crates on the in your way. Doing double jumps there can help just make sure that you're getting over the crates and over some of the gaps. All right. All right. So yeah, just, recognizing where you can do single jumps and where you can do, where it's okay to do the double jumps. When I first started, I was like double jumping everything because I was just like, I was so scared of running into things and falling off ledges and falling into the pits. But yeah, as you get more comfortable with it and you get better at recognizing the patterns and honestly, a lot of it's just sort of trial and error, just like, figuring out, oh, okay, I can just fall off these. I don't have to jump over them. And, trial and erroring, just doing things through trial and error can really help you improve. And in the end, it all just comes down to practice and repetition. All right. Now, I know for some people they've had, there's a good obstacle. So hopefully we'll see another one of those where you do a double jump onto the bridge and then you jump onto the crate, do one hop over the hill, and then you can just walk off the last one. All right, so now we're starting to see some bridges. So once you hit the 1,000 meter mark, you'll start to see some of the bridges, and you can see how I'm navigating those. Again, mostly just relying on single jumps where I can and double jumps where they're absolutely necessary, right? So a lot of these are just single jumps. So that's one where you do a double jump over, and then you can just walk off that last little crate right there. All right. With the long bridge with the 3 pillars under it, that is a trap. Do not try to get the package under the long bridge. It is a trap. It is incredibly difficult to get that, and it is not worth the risk. The reward is definitely not worth the risk. Now, the idea here is to obviously try and get as many packages as you can because that will increase your score. You can also get tickets and you can get refill pots for the game. But once you've used up once you've picked up all the pots and the tickets, then you no longer will get those and they'll just give you points. You get 100 points per pouch. And that is added to your final score. So that's another way, like, when you saw my score that said 6,900, it's not because I ran almost 7,000 meters. It's because I got like 2,000 points from picking up the pouches along the way. So yeah, that's how you get the high scores, by just picking up tons and tons of pouches. So you see I have 8 so far. You have to pass a flag in order to actually get the pouches. So in between the flags, any pouches you don't pick up before hitting one of those flags will mean you will not get the flag, or you won't get those. Oh, whoo, that's a tough one. So that one usually gets me. That one's really tough with the little bridges. All right, here you can just walk. Once you're going fast enough, you can just walk there. All right. Oh no! That one got me. See, I did a double jump. I should have done a single jump. I knew that. I knew I should have done a single jump there. See, those still get me. All right, now here's the thing. When you revive, it resets you back to your initial speed. So you're going to start going really slow, which is going to change how you're going to approach some of these. So now I'm actually going to double jump. All right, single jump, double jump, single jump, double jump, single jump. So yeah, so it's going to pretty dramatically change how you approach some of these. All right, for those, when you're going slow, it's you just walk off those little, or you jump onto the first one, walk off, and then, yeah, do some jumps. It's kind of hard to explain, I guess, while I'm in it. Now with these, it's kind of tricky, but you can single jump those and then just walk off the end. And that's honestly the best way to do it, because then you can grab the package at the top. But you do have to time that. It's easier when you're going faster to single jump those. But yeah, they can be single jumped. You just have to time it right. And like I said, it's easier when you're going fast to single jump them. It's harder. Yeah, you see? It's harder when you're going slow. All right. But yeah, at this point, we oh no! Stop. All right, I'm gonna have to start double jumping those now. I'm so used to to single jumping them when I'm going faster. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start double jumping those now. All right, if I get quiet, it's because I'm locked in, and I'm gonna try and focus and try and do a little better. But I think we've pretty much experienced most, if not all, of the obstacles now at this point, and how to. Yep. So when you're going slow, you do have to jump on the 5 pillars. You can't just fall off the 5 pillars like we could before. All right. And they often put a package on that 4th pillar too, for you to pick up. All right, doing pretty well. I'm about to hit 3,000 meters, which is good. So I'll get a fairly decent score here. It's definitely not going to be a high score, I don't think. But I think I should do all right. Like I said, trying to talk through it, trying to talk through it and focus at the same time. I'm terrible at multitasking, so, oh man, yeah. See, when I'm going slower, I got to double jump over those, but then I miss the package. See, if I was going a little faster, I would have just single jumped all those, because it's much easier to single jump them when you're going faster. Oh man, I just missed that one. I'm going just a little too fast. Got to keep that in mind. I hate missing packages because, man, that's points on the board that you're missing right there. But I've seen quite a few packages, which is good. So I've got 13. I need to pass a flag though, so I can get the 5 that I've got. You see I've got 5, but I haven't passed a flag yet, so those won't get added to my total unless I pass a flag here pretty soon. So I'm really hoping I'll pass a flag soon. Ah, there we go. So now I've got 18. So that's 1,800 points added to whatever my distance is. Oh, man, I missed it again. Going a little... Oh, no! I'm going a little too fast. Ah, all right. Well, that's all right. That's a pretty good score right there. And I think that shows you generally how... how to navigate some of these obstacles. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys. We've also got a guide that we're putting together on the Discord, so definitely feel free to join our Discord, and you can even be a part of the guide and putting the guide together. But it's just a helpful guide, sort of going over some of these obstacles and sort of talking through how best to tackle them. So hopefully you guys find this helpful, and if not, hopefully it was entertaining. But anyways, thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.